In this video, I'm going to give you a brief overview of the Playback plugin. The Playback plugin is used to play back audio files for backing track purposes. To use the Playback plugin, we need to start off with an audio file. So I have an electric piano sound pulled up here in Mainstage, and now I'm going to add the Playback plugin to another channel strip here. I'm going to go to the plus icon, select Instrument and Create. Then I'm going to go to the Input and select Playback and Stereo. Now the Playback plugin is inserted on this channel strip here. Here's what the main Playback plugin window looks like. Now let's go ahead and open up that drum file that I exported from Logic, and I can do that by clicking here where it says None, and go to my desktop, and then Groove, and select Open. So let's close out of the Playback plugin for a second. I'm going to go back over to the Layout menu. I'm going to go over to Panel Controls and find where it says Waveform. Then I'm going to bring the waveform in over here and resize that. I now have my Playback plugin in a portion in my workspace. I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to choose the channel strip that has the Playback plugin on it, which is right here, and then select Playback. And when I do that, it'll populate the waveforms for the Playback plugin. So here's the main interface for the Playback plugin. We have a Return to Start button right here, Play button, Loop. Over here we have Fade Out, so it can fade out when it's done playing if it's not looped. We have a count off button, so it'll count off 4 beats before playing. After that is the metronome button. This is the same metronome button that's in the rest of Mainstage, and it'll control that metronome button as well. The metronome will always use the tempo of your concert. I can also use these backward and forward markers to go backward and forward between 2 different markers or multiple markers in the Playback plugin. I'm going to set my first marker here right at the beginning, and I'm going to right click and select Add Marker. And then I'm going to set another marker here about 8 counts before it starts over again. So you can see as I hit these 2 buttons, it'll toggle between the 2 markers. So we have marker 1, and then I can go to marker 2. And if I hit play, let's hear how that sounds. So I can start from the beginning by hitting marker 1, which is also play. And while it's playing, I can hit the back button and go back to the beginning. I can skip ahead and go right to marker 2 if I want. Over here we have a position marker that tells us where we are in the Playback plugin. Next to that is a length field that shows us the length of the entire audio file. The next thing I can do here is change the time signature of the playback. This is especially helpful if the Playback plugin doesn't know the meter of the imported audio and you need to readjust it. So here's the original file. I could change this to 6/8 if I wanted to. And I could also increase the tempo. And now it will modify this playback to work in a 6/8 meter at 146 beats per minute. So let's check that out. The tempo field will display the concert tempo when the sync is on. When sync is off, it's unmodifiable. Next is fade time in, and if I double click here, I can adjust the fade time in for playback in seconds. Current position will start the playback from the current playhead position. Start will start playback from the beginning of the audio file. Current marker will start playback from the current marker, and that's to the left of the current position in the audio file. And relative position will sync playback to the Mainstage clock. Since this is a drum beat, I'm going to set this up as a loop by clicking here. I'm also going to tell the Playback plugin to count off by clicking here. And I'm also going to go up to this gearbox here and tell it to start playing when I select this patch. Let's assign a button to start the Playback plugin. And I'm going to go to my button here. I'm going to find the channel strip that it's on. Go to Playback, Transport, and in here I'm going to select Play Stop from Start. On my patch level, I can change the tempo of it as well. So I'm going to move this up to 150 beats per minute. So that wraps up this overview on the Playback plugin. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.